Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buyer's Remorse with Darren and Justin.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Here on Buyer's Remorse, we find games that are sitting untouched or unplayed in each other's library and force each other to give those a try for 60 minutes to tell us if that hour tells them it is a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse. What game did I choose for you this time?
Fragile.
Not sure. I remember I gave you this ages ago. I have no idea. No memory of this game at all. What kind of game is Fragile?
Fragile is brought to us by Beer Night Studio. So I was like, this game is made for me. Yep. Beer Night Studio. And it's about $10. It's got mixed reviews. Hence, probably you saw that and was like, yeah, give me the mixed reviews, baby.
Mixed reviews or negative is usually a pretty good indicator, yeah.
Yeah. So it is, I don't know if it's made by a Mongolian developer, but it's set in Mongolia. And it's got really nice graphics. It looks pretty good. It's kind of like, almost like, I don't know, it's not as polished as like Little Misfortune or Frambo, but it's that style of like 2D animated walk from left to right off screen. A little bit of puzzles to solve. It's that kind of game. And so when I saw the trailer, I was like, it was in my library and I was like, all right, yeah, you said Fragile. I looked it up. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be great. It looks great. Looks perfect. I don't know why you gave this to me.
See, I was worried there for a second because when you start talking about Frambo and Little Misfortune games I know you enjoy, I was getting very worried.
Yeah.
But that side tells me a lot. So, where did they go wrong with Fragile?
Yeah, this is it. So how long to beat has it at about 2.5 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And half of that, at least an hour, or maybe even an hour and a half, must be just trying to beat this stupid, impossible, pure luck-based minigame, which we'll get to in a few minutes. But this minigame that I hit about 20 minutes in ruined it for me.
Now I remember you streamed this one.
Yes.
And I caught you just in time for that random game. I didn't see the rest of it, so I need to hear all about the beginning stuff. But yes,
yeah. I
look forward to that part. All right.
So, I've got about 20 minutes of game time, and the rest of me is playing basically a variation on the marble game from Squid Game. So you start the game, great graphics. You got this rainy city. It's all depressing. Totally my style. We're in Mongolia, and you walk, 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 and you look at a poster. And it's about missing kids or something like that. And then you walk and you walk and you walk. And I'm in my element because it's a walking sim, basically. And it's just like, I'm happy, but it's like a huge length that you've got to walk across the screen. And you don't walk that quickly, but it's very moody. And there's stuff happening on screen, but there's just not a lot of stuff for you to do.
What's the walking speed like?
Very slow. Molasses. Yeah. It's really slow. But then, anyway, you walk and you walk and you walk and you walk, and then you go down some stairs, and then you meet you see this guy off to the side of the screen, you're like, oh, I don't want to walk past that guy, but that's my only direction, and it's like, okay, and then he turns around and kidnaps you. So boom, now you're in a room, and there's a locked door off to the left, and then you can push a crate, and you can get up on the crate, and you can look at the bars at the top of the door, and then it'll give you it gives you the correct number of volts to basically solve a puzzle. It's like a fuse box puzzle. You solve that, and you can switch on the lights in the room. And then you can read some stuff on the walls now, like some graffiti about stuff. And I was stuck here for a while as well, because when you get into the room, it's just pitch blackness. You go right, there's nothing. You go left, there's the door, and you can see like the light coming in the window. You do the fuse box, you switch it on, and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? You have to go back and switch it back off. And then when you switch it back off, and you're in the dark again, suddenly you can see light coming through a crack in the wall. But that wasn't there when the light was off in the first place.
Well, clearly you created that crack by turning the power on and off again.
Oh, of course, yeah. It makes total sense. But anyway, so you you basically go to that, you kick a hole in the wall, because you know, there's light from beyond it. And then you enter a crawl space, and then you meet basically a feral ghoul from Fallout, and he wants to play a game, instead of a game of marbles, he wants to play a game of teeth. And so I start off, I have 10 teeth, he has 10 teeth. You can only hold a maximum of 5 teeth in your hand, and then you just basically have to guess a number. And so I could say, I think there's going to be 7. And so he'll be thinking, okay, you've got maybe 5 in your hand or 4 in your hand. So if you've got, I think you've got 5, so I'm going to hold 2. Well, I'm not going to hold 2, I'm going to hold 3, and I'm going to say 8. And then I'll win. But he doesn't. He's only got, I'm only holding 4 in my hand, so now it's 6 or whatever. So no one wins. It's just this, it's this really lengthy game of random luck. It's awful, man. It's absolutely awful. And it just, bam, the game just stops dead in its tracks and it ruins it. And I'm wondering, did they put this game into this, did they put this mini game in here to like pad out the length of the game? Because this is a $10 game.
Yeah.
And if How Long to Beat has it at 2.5 hours, then okay, maybe that's a little bit short. So maybe you could get maybe 3 or even 4. But this game, and the reviews are just like all the same. They're just like, game is destroyed by minigame. That's basically what they're saying. Is the reason for the negative reviews is all because of this minigame. It's just like, just take it out. But then how long would it take to just like fire through the rest of it? Maybe it would be 2 hours. Maybe it would be an hour, you know? So the asking price is way too high for what it is.
Right, but also I'm wondering if the people who left their times on How Long to Beat are the ones who made it through pretty quickly.
Right.
Maybe it is a 2.5 hour game, even without this. They're the only ones who actually finished, because I think anybody who suffered through it the way I watched you suffering through it did not finish and would not have a time to log in. No,
and I mean, it's a game that gets easier the more you win, because obviously when he gets down to, okay, I've got maybe 17 teeth, and I know he's only got 3, so now I can game the system, right? I should be able to win, but I'm pretty sure the game cheats because I went from 17 teeth, and all of my teeth went back in his direction. I didn't win one fucking round for 10 minutes, and I lost everything, and then I got down to 3. And I was just like, is the game messing with me? Is it just like, is it trying to just make it go back and forth? Because it's very easy for the computer to cheat in a mini game like this, where there's no skill involved. It's, oh, I said 7. Maybe it was 7, but the computer bumps it up to, oh, sorry, it was 8. There's no way of me knowing that I'm getting fucked around here. And so, and I don't know how well the AI has been programmed for this either. So I don't trust that side of it. Even if the game is not cheating, I don't trust how well it's been made, right? And of course, maybe I'm dumb. I'm not exactly, I can't maths. So maybe there is a problem with me. But yeah, like I said here, I got the goal down to 3 teeth, and then he made this amazing comeback. So I was just like, I was raging, man. I was absolutely fuming. That's probably when you came in. I was just ready to throw my whole fucking computer out the window. And so what I did was, as my hour was running out, I was just like, right, I just want to see what happens when I lose all my teeth, just what happens. So I was trying to lose. And believe me, it's very easy to lose because you just guess stupid numbers. And so I wanted to see what happens when you lose all your teeth. Of course, the ghoul just basically jumps on you and attacks you. And that's it. And that's a real shame, because despite the whole boring spam right introduction, I was totally in my element. I loved the dreary, drab, grey city, the rain. It was dark, and it was depressing and boring, but it was kind of a very atmospheric kind of walking sim. Edith Fragile, yeah. And then, and it's, like I said, it's almost if they said, oh, we can't charge $10 for a 1 hour game. Let's put this impossible minigame in there, and then that'll double the length of it. And And there's so many solutions that you could do. A, just remove the game. B, cut it down to like 3 teeth each. It doesn't have to be 20 teeth involved. Cut it down to 3 teeth each, and then it would hopefully be over quicker. But I mean, what I've written here in my notes is it's a free country. Do what you want. If you think if you don't want to fix it, you think, oh, it's fine, be my guest. But I can understand why people don't like this game, myself included. I was really disappointed because it had the makings of a great game for me, and I can't even use a walkthrough because it's a randomized luck-based RNG game. So I'd have to suffer through it again. It's not like I can just pick up a walkthrough and go, how do I do this? Because I want to see the rest of the game, but I probably will just watch it on YouTube.
Wonderful. So, would you recommend this game to me?
Absolutely not. No.
Do you know how you got this game? Was it in a bundle or something?
It's, it was from Fanatical. It was a Fanatical bundle.
Would you recommend this game to anyone?
No. I can't. If they removed the minigame or made the minigame easier to beat,
or skippable.
Or, even skippable, man. Like, if you want to try it and then you get to maybe X amount of fails, it's like, do you want to skip this? Yes, please. Like, that hidden object game option is brilliant, man, where it's just like, yeah, skip the crap minigame. No, that's unfair. I love hidden object minigames, but sometimes they're a bit obtuse.
Yeah, and there's some that just randomly don't work very well.
Yeah. But I love that they include that option. Like, if you want to do it, you can do it, and you probably get an achievement for it. But if you want to skip it, be my guest. But yeah, I would not recommend this to anyone only because of the minigame. But if they got rid of it, or made it skippable, or made it easier, or reduced the number of teeth so that, again, it was easier, then I would say yes.
And I think you've already answered this, but you're not planning to go back then and complete this game.
Nah. Like I said, I can't, because even with a guide, it wouldn't help me.
What 3 tags would you give it?
Creepy, missed opportunity, and rage quit.
Rage quit. Maybe that should be a tag.
But yeah, that's the best I could come up with, and it's true, so true. It's a terribly missed opportunity because, like I said, it is a really well animated game. It's beautiful, really, really well done. It's just such a shame. It's got this crap mini game in the middle.
And is this a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse?
Not worth the $1 for the 20 minutes of actual game, which is probably what I got it for in the bundle. Not even worth it for the 20 minutes of gameplay that I got out of it. Absolute remorse.
Excellent.
Buyer's remorse.